The man in front of him was so scared that he died straight away, because this woman has been pasturing the crown prince like a mangy dog, and I am this woman, kneeling down in front of him. Your Highness, you do not remember the concubine. A handful of snot and tears of crying himself, but also pointed to the orchid finger. My concubine is Xiao Xixi, but the prince didn't stop me and ordered his men to arrest me. I took one quick step, shouted Your Highness, and rushed towards him. Please let me finish. Your Highness. I approached His Highness with an attentive face. Your Highness, today the Hall of Seal is black. I'm afraid that there will be a plague of blood. I beg you to take this amulet with you. It will protect you from the plague of blood. Having lived for 18 years, I have never seen such a bold and arrogant person. He dared to grab my leg. The prince's servants are talking, have you heard? Xiao Xixi intercepted. The crown prince halfway in angered him, so she's been locked up in Cold Fragrance House. It's General Zhongmu's eldest daughter, called Xiao Xixi. From the time she entered the palace until now, it's been half a year. Even the crown prince's face hasn't been able to see once. She's dead, and I'm not afraid in the slightest. Still in the leisurely high melon seeds. How can this salted fish lying comfortable it? I leisurely spit out the melon shells. The maid will be worried about what to do. It's too tiring to fight for favor. I can't do it. I better take a nap first. Inside the imperial garden, I took the maid here to keep watch, and the maid behind me called out to me, You can't stand guard here, even if you want to see His Highness the Crown Prince. It's against the rules. What if you upset the Crown Prince? I've been in the palace for half a year now, and His Highness hasn't even looked at me. If I don't do something, I'll never see him again. But even so, you can't be like this. The maid is very worried about her master getting into trouble like this. I then hurriedly covered the maid's mouth. Don't say it. Someone is coming. A pair of legs came slowly. His Highness the Crown Prince is walking towards here with all the people behind him. He came with no expression on his face, just as His Highness the Crown Prince was getting closer and closer. My mouth silently counted down 3 words. 3, 2, 1. I rushed towards His Highness the Crown Prince in a puff of smoke, and the maids behind me were stunned. Then I deliberately stretched my voice and shouted, Your Highness. I wanted to hug His Highness, but looking at His Highness' expression, he just dodged away. As expected, he directly dodged away, and I flung myself in the air and could only rush forward. In the end, I had no choice but to make zero-distance contact with the ground, and it hurt like hell. The maid looked at my performance, covered her face in pain. Finish, little master, this time dead. At this time, the eunuch immediately stepped forward in front of the prince. Who are you? How dare you sneak up on His Highness the Crown Prince? And I could only sigh in embarrassment. Then my body trembled as I tried to hold myself up, facing His Highness the Crown Prince. Your Highness the Crown Prince, don't you remember my concubine? My concubine is Xiao Xixi. I pointed my orchid finger and cried out my misery. His Highness the Crown Prince looked indifferent, curious as to who the woman in front of him really was. Sure enough, I don't remember, and I realized that His Highness the Crown Prince doesn't remember me in the least as an initiator. I turned my head sideways. It's not a surprise. It's important to say business is important. I held out my hand with the amulet in it. I know His Highness is going out hunting with His Majesty today. There are many dangers out there. I am worried about your safety, so I specially asked for this amulet. Please accept it. The maids and eunuchs behind her were horrified. Everyone knows that the Crown Prince hates these strange things, and now Xiao Xixi actually dares to send the Crown Prince an amulet. His Royal Highness didn't pay any attention to me, so he just told me to get out of the way, and the eunuch behind him was terrified. The eunuch behind me was so scared that he shouted at the guards behind him, trying to catch me. I looked at the 2 people behind me. I looked at the 2 men behind me, and with a quick step, I let the guards pounce on me, and I continued to rush towards His Highness the Crown Prince. I looked at His Highness the Crown Prince with an attentive face. Please let me finish, His Highness. Holding his leg tightly, Your Highness, today the Hall of Seal is black. I am afraid that there will be a plague of blood. I beg you to take this amulet with you. It will protect you from the plague. His Highness the Crown Prince frowned. Having lived for 18 years, he had never seen such a bold person. He then turned around and shook me off, dragging her away. The people behind him grabbed me. Although I'm going to be dragged away, my mouth is still shouting, Your Highness must be careful. Someone is trying to plot against you. Today, I still have to accompany my father to go out for a hunting roundup, so I can't be delayed. Otherwise, I really want to slash this woman who is pretending to be a god. Have you heard? Today, she not only blocked the prince's way and hugged his thigh, but also threatened him with a plague of blood. But I'm still relaxing on my melon seeds. I'm not afraid at all. I'm still lying down. Little lord, you've been in mourning for half a year, and you've finally come to your senses and are willing to fight for favor. But there are millions of ways to fight for favor. Why did you choose Look at you now, you've made the crown prince angry, and you've been locked up in this dilapidated cold fragrance house. What are we going to do in the future? But I didn't intend to compete for favor. If you don't want to compete for favor, why are you hugging the crown prince's leg? I clapped my hands. I've already told you. The crown prince's seal is black with blood, and although I'm fighting for favor, the main thing is what I've said. I went to him to save his life. The maid looked at me with an expressionless face. Do you think I believe it? Now that you've offended His Highness, you should think about how to gain His Highness forgiveness. Bao Qing, I'd like to eat hot pot tonight, the kind with lots of spices in it. The maid yelled at me. Think about how to get His Highness forgiveness, not what to eat tonight. Oh, you can have hot pot tonight. I looked at her with an aggrieved face. My eyes sparkling. Really, can I eat it? What else can I do? The maid held the salted fish in her hand. My master is a salted fish. Spoil it. The maid stares at the salted fish and leaves here. According to the time projection, the prince's blood and light will be fulfilled soon. I hope you'll be a bit more competitive and get through this safely. Don't waste the amulet I made overnight. On the other side, a deer is fleeing frantically. This is a hunting ground in the wild. His Highness rode after the deer to hunt it. While he was riding his horse, he was chasing the deer. The white horse foamed at the mouth for some reason. The prince realized that the horse had spooked. He tried to pull the horse to stop, but it couldn't. The white horse led him on a wild ride. Ahead was a cliff. The horse couldn't stop. His Royal Highness could only jump out of the horse's back to get away from the danger. But just as he was about to get out of danger, an arrow was shot at him. The guards behind him also shouted that there was an assassin, but the arrow was still aimed at him. At this time his chest was so hot, he felt something strange in his chest. The arrow bounced off and didn't hit him like it should have. The guards behind us have just arrived late. There is an assassin. Protect His Highness. He also landed safely. Why did my horse suddenly go crazy? And the timing of the arrow was exquisite. If it wasn't for the invisible barrier that blocked it for long. His hand went into his chest. This is, looking at what seems to have failed in front of him, the amulet given by Xiao Xixi. She secretly stuffed it into her clothes when she was kneeling in front of him. It must have been that time when the crown prince pinched the amulet fiercely. How did she know I'd be assassinated? Is she the one who knows? Then why did she take the initiative to remind me of the plague of blood? At this time, the two royal brothers behind me came here. Third brother, I heard that you encountered an assassin. Have you been injured? I tucked the amulet quietly into my chest to prevent it from being seen by these two royal brothers. Then he turned his head and said, I'm fine. Don't worry. Father is worried about you. The second brother, who was holding the fan, then said, you quickly go and report peace to father. Just leave this place to me and big brother to deal with. Then, I would like to thank the two royal brothers. His Highness the Crown Prince did not look at them with his eyes. Back in the East Palace, you will split into two groups. One to find the horse's body and find out why the horse suddenly went crazy. The other group will track down the assassin's origins. The two guards answered. He took the arrow in his hand. Where is Xiao Xixi? The eunuch behind him then said, Your Highness, Xiao Xixi is now being held in Cold Fragrance House. Hearing this, he led the eunuch to Cold Fragrance House. The eunuch shouted, His Highness the Crown Prince is here. As a result, His Highness the Crown Prince, standing outside, heard a crackling sound inside. Quickly put things away. His Highness stood in the doorway, speechless. What is this? Then he pushed the door open. What are you doing? Both of them were shocked. They hadn't finished cleaning up yet. The maid was full of panic. This is a dead end. Looking at so many things in front of him, the prince was in disbelief. Then I dodged and blocked the food on the table. See you, Your Highness. See you, Your Highness. Your heart was trembling, and you were sweating with tension. His Highness the Crown Prince was staring at me, looking at my condition. His mouth is oily and red. What are you doing in the house? Back to His Highness the Crown Prince. Having my evening meal. His Highness the Crown Prince grabbed my chin. You don't look worried at all. Worried about what? What do you think? Pinch my mouth again. The two of them just looked at each other without speaking again. Are you just going to keep standing here talking to Lom? I didn't expect Your Highness to come. I was so excited before I forgot my manners. It's my fault. Your Highness, please take a seat. While His Highness the Crown Prince's eyes looked to the side tableware. The fish in the pot, red spicy oil, bubbling with white gas. Since I can't hide it anymore, I might as well just tell the truth. I hurriedly pulled the stool. Have you eaten? Your Highness, why don't you sit down and have some? He asked me, where did you get the pot? Hey, that's a copper basin for washing your face. His Highness looked helpless. You're using a basin to cook hot pot, and you want to invite me to eat with you. This basin is very clean. Your Highness can eat it without worrying. It definitely won't spoil your stomach. Lone, I don't want to eat. And where did these dishes come from? plenty of side dishes, vegetables, chicken and duck meat, mushrooms and so on. I blocked my mouth. Can I keep it quiet? Of course not. Hey, we raise our own chickens and fish. We pick up a few eggs every day. We grew these vegetables ourselves. His Highness the Crown Prince was filled with incredulity. You guys, raising chickens and growing vegetables in the Eastern Palace. Oh, I'm usually idle, so I raised chickens and ducks in the backyard of the Chinga Palace and planted some vegetables. As a result, the whole place was silent, and all that could be heard was the sound of the pot gurgling. Come on, go to the backyard of the Chinga Palace of chickens and ducks to clean up all the vegetables. I directly flopped down in front of him. Your Highness, I beg you to be generous. Let go of those poor chickens and ducks' vegetables. They are still just children. His Highness the Crown Prince was indifferent. I don't have such children. Let go. Those chickens, ducks and vegetables were raised by my concubine, and they are the fruit of my heart and soul. If they are gone, how can I live in the future? Your Highness, I beg you to see that my concubine has helped you today and let those chickens, ducks, fish and vegetables go. How do you know I'll be in trouble today? As I said before, your forehead is black, so it's obvious that you're in danger of bloodshed. You know how to read faces. I didn't know that the eldest lady of General John Woo's residence could read faces. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to lie. Because of my destiny, I was sent to the Xuanmen sect. Since I was a child, I grew up in the Xuanmen and also worshipped Xuanmen Master Xiao Xixi as a teacher. Until a year ago, my concubine left the Xuanmen to return to the general's residence. It is rumored that the Zhuan sect is a very mysterious sect. They are few in number, but everyone is very capable. The late emperor, who was addicted to pews and sought immortality, once ordered people to search for Zhuan sect members. But unfortunately, he was unable to do so until he died. I originally thought that Xuanmen was just a legend, but I didn't think that there was really someone from Xuanmen. Moreover, this person is also a woman in my backyard. I thought to myself, tonight I must dispel the misunderstanding in the prince's heart. Otherwise, with the prince's suspicious nature, I am sure that I will plant a root of trouble. Your Highness the Crown Prince. And you are a team. Hearing this, His Highness the Crown Prince's eyes gazed at me. He then asked me, on what basis should I trust you? Your Highness, I drew something from my chest there. This is the token of our Xuanmen people. Seeing this token, His Highness the Crown Prince was nonplussed. There was actually this thing. It took the token from my hand. This token doesn't seem to be forged. But this woman is actually a member of the Zhuan sect. Looking at this woman grabbing his leg, is the Xuanmen sect selection of people also unconventional? You let go of loan first. I looked at him pitifully. Then those chickens, ducks, fish and vegetable fields in my backyard will be kept for you for the time being. Hearing this, I directly hugged his leg tightly. Your Highness, you are really a great person. I love you. Bi Xing, a woman's wife. What's with all the talk of love? People will hear it and say you don't know shame. Then I immediately demurely got up. My concubine is wrong. My concubine will not say it in the future. He then went on to ask me, why have I never heard you mention the Xuanmen matter before? Because His Highness has never summoned my concubine. I can't even see you, so how can I tell you about these things? If you're a member of the Xuanmen, why do you still want to be with me? Don't you think it's too much for you? I was all smiles. I don't think so. It's an honor for my concubine to be a person of His Highness the Crown Prince. Hearing this, His Highness the Crown Prince frowned and looked at me with a face that seemed to be different. He then left. Today it was Lone who misunderstood you. You can move back to the Chinga Palace at any time. I respectfully send off His Highness the Crown Prince. I lowered my head and waited for His Highness the Crown Prince to hurry up and leave the place. Finally gone. Start eating. I'm not affected in the slightest, and the maid is relieved by this. I pick up a piece of meat and eat. So spicy, so fragrant, so delicious. Ascending in place. Happiness knows no bounds. The maid then asked me, Little Lord, you are originally from the Zhuan sect. Why haven't I heard you mention this before? It's just a small matter, not worth mentioning. Then do the general and madam know about it? They don't know. Only grandfather knows about it. But it died 3 years ago. Everyone in my family thought I grew up in a regular nunnery. I ate delicious meat and savored this hot pot. It's really so satisfying. I see. If the general and madam knew that little Lord was a member of the Zhuan sect, they certainly wouldn't have sent her to the palace. The prince's daughter is certainly beautiful, but compared to being a member of the Xuanmen sect, it's not worth mentioning. Late at night, in the East Palace, the crown prince is still not resting and is still watching the article. He instructed his subordinates not to spread a word of what Xiao Liangdai said tonight. Also, send something over to Xiao Liangdai tomorrow as compensation for her. On the second day, the weather was sunny and the birds were laughing on the branches. Come here to the Qingge Palace, Xiao Liangdai. This is a reward from His Highness the Crown Prince. Thank you quickly. I waved my hands and bowed my head. Thank you for your Highness grace. Then I opened the box. It's full of silks and jewelry beads. With a fortune. Your Highness is too kind to me. Put away the precious Qing quickly. I'm now on the same boat as Luo Qinghan. I must protect his safety. Only if he lives well, I can continue to be a salted fish with peace of mind. Yuna-chan, that amulet from yesterday is broken. This is a new one I made. Please pass it on to His Highness the Crown Prince for me. Don't worry, Xiao Liangdai. I'll be sure to pass it on to His Highness the Crown Prince. It's delicious when you're full. I'll disk the food. This kind of mixed eating is too good to be true. Bao Qing then asked me. His Highness the Crown Prince ordered a reward to be sent. Aren't you going to thank him? I leaned on my head. Haven't I thanked you? The slave girl's meaning is, trouble you then go to the Crown Prince in the name of thank you to show a face. Although you have the Xuan identity cover, His Highness will not neglect you. Nowadays, there is no Crown Princess in the East Palace, only the side consorts, and there are also Liangdai, Liang Yuan, Beauty and a dancing others. You are qualified to compete for the position of CR. I stood up, took off my shoes, and jumped straight into bed. Competing for favor is too tiring. I can't do it. I better go to sleep first. My eyelids can't hold out any longer. As a result, I directly performed a 1-second sleep, leaving the maid alone as if she was dumbfounded. 3 hours later, just now, White-Side Concubine sent someone to deliver that invitation, saying that a tea party will be held tomorrow afternoon at Cui Mingchuan, and would like to invite you to eat tea and enjoy the FL tea party. Isn't there a lot of delicious food? I think so. The maid helped me tidy up my clothes. Then I'm going. I can't miss the good food. In a flash, it's evening. His Highness the Prince is dining here. Your Highness, this is what Xiao Liangdai asked my servant to pass on to you. His Highness the Crown Prince took this amulet. Looking at the amulet in front of him, he seems to be remembering something. Thinking of my sweet smile, deeply imprinted in his mind. Squeezing this amulet, I don't know what I'm thinking about. Then it was put into the bag. What was Xiao Liangdai doing this day? Xiao Liangdai moved back to Qingge Palace this morning, then stayed in Qingge Palace without coming out again. By the way, in the afternoon, Sai Consort by sent Xiao Liangdai an invitation, and wanted to invite her to the tea party tomorrow afternoon. Hearing this, His Highness the Crown Prince did not respond. Your Highness, will you go to the Qingge Palace to rest tonight? His Highness the Crown Prince got up and left. No, to the study. The next day, the maid instructed me that when you meet side consort by later, your attitude must be good. If the other side says something that makes you unhappy, you just smile, play dumb and pass. After all, white side consort is a side consort, rank higher than you, and her father is the Crown Prince's tutor. The Crown Prince is quite polite to her. Even if you do not please her, try not to. I yearned. I know. Behind me, Bao Qing looked at my state and was helpless. We went to Cui Mingjuan together. Here have come the first side consorts, consort Beauty. Xiao Rashi as mad white side consort, Li side consort. Side consort extends her hand. Sister sit. I looked at the food on the table. All these things look so delicious. This is the snacks I prepared for all the sisters. You all try them. These pastries look like they were made by a senior chef. I pick up a piece of pastry. It looks really delicate and tasty. I'll take it. It melts in my mouth. It's delicious. The maid behind me spat out. What is it that you don't think is delicious? At this time, one of the consorts then spoke. I heard that Sister Bai is sick again. Didn't the Crown Prince go to see you? When the white side consort heard this, she looked over. I'm just a little sick. I'll be fine after a nap. Why do I need His Royal Highness to make a trip himself? The other beauties said. Yes, the Crown Prince has a lot of work to do. How can he go to the backyard all day long? It's not just Sister Bai. We sisters haven't seen His Highness for a long time. This red-haired side consort then continued. If His Highness the Crown Prince is so busy, why did he have the time to go to Cold Fragrance House the night before last? After she finished speaking, her eyes looked towards me, but I wasn't listening at all. I was just eating my pastries. This second idiot, Sister Xiao, are you listening to us? I looked at them with a curious face. Bao Sai consort covered her mouth and laughed lightly. Sister Xiao seems to not be listening. Since I ate someone else's white side consort's melon and fruit snacks, I have to help warm up the same. I seriously participate in the topic on the topic. Li Wenji, who is it? Why does His Royal Highness want to date him? The result was the silence of the whole room. I looked at them with curiosity. Why was there suddenly quiet? The maid behind me is extremely helpless. My big miss, you see what you say, this is what Tiger and Wolf Fords are. White side consort coughed lightly, in order to ease the embarrassment. The wind is a bit strong today. Yes, the wind is too strong. I didn't hear anything just now. I heard that His Highness, the Crown Prince, almost got injured during the roundup. Do you guys know what really happened? I heard that a horse got spooked and dropped His Highness the Crown Prince. His Highness is really blessed to be safe even like this. Then we heard the eunuchs shouting that His Highness the Crown Prince is here, and His Highness the Crown Prince walked right in. They all kneeled down and bowed to the ground. Concubine pays her respects to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. He raised his hand. Get up. What were you talking about? We were just talking about how His Highness the Crown Prince almost got injured during the hunting roundup. Sighed Concubine, by then covered her mouth as if to imply something. You got sick again. It just so happens that His Highness saw it. When my concubine learned that His Highness was almost injured, she was upset, and with a bit of cold wind at night, she got sick again. It's my concubine's fault for being useless. Have you seen the imperial doctor? It's a minor illness. No need to alarm the eunuch. I'll be fine if I go back and lie down for a while. Thank you for your concern. If you are sick, you should treat it early. You should let someone take my card and go to the imperial hospital to find someone to take a look. Behind the beauty said, His Highness is really good to Sister Bai. Bai side consort also responded, His Highness is very good to everyone. The side of the side consort is not happy. This white lotus flower knows to pretend to be weak, to attract the attention of His Highness the Crown Prince, to get together shamelessly. This Chen Liang Yuan is also a brainless. Just know to praise the white lotus flower. Think this can't stand firm in the Eastern Palace. Dream on, Your Highness. I've been practicing the Western dance, and I've already achieved a little success. I wonder if Your Highness would like to come to my place tonight. The others were instantly unsettled. White Concubine was just trying to attract the attention of the Crown Prince, but Li Concubine was even directly about to pull the Crown Prince to spend the night. His Highness the Crown Prince indifferently replied, Let's talk about it. After saying that, he looked at the back of the Xiao Liang's knot. While I ate my own pastries, the maid wanted me to eat later. As a result, at this time, His Highness the Crown Prince called out my name, Xiao Liang Dai. I then reacted. My mouth didn't move again, and the maid behind me was in a state of fear. His Highness the Crown Prince looked at me as if I were a little squirrel raised as a child. What are your orders, Your Highness? The other three side consort beauties then looked at me with abnormal eyes. He pressed his mouth and gave a soft Tomorrow is the Empress Mother's birthday, and there will be a banquet held at Fen Chou Yuan in the evening. You will go with Lom at that time. Empress birthday banquet. I thought fast. There must be a lot of delicious food at the birthday banquet. Good food. Lots of it. Go, go, go. It's not human not to go. I agreed. The other concubines looked at me fiercely. His Highness asked me if I was full. I touched my stomach and tried to say that I wasn't full yet, but I was shocked by His Highness' eyes. He stared at me. Wait, the Crown Prince suddenly asked such a sentence. There should be some other intention. Well, since the boss wants to act, of course I, a wage earner, have to cooperate. Then respond to him with a smile. Full. Then let's go, His Highness. The Crown Prince turned around and prepared to leave the place. I follow His Highness the Crown Prince to leave. The others respectfully send off His Highness the Crown Prince. The side consort beauties behind us watched us leave. His Highness is going to the Queen's banquet. Even if he doesn't bring us, he should bring Sister Bai with him. Whether it's her status or her appearance, Sister Bai is much better than this Xiao Liang Dai. But White Side Consort did not respond. I am tired. Want to go back to rest a while. You guys go ahead. This Li Side Consort just hummed lightly, obviously jealous to death in the heart. To have to pretend to be light and breezy. Really hypocritical. Then we walked out. In this long corridor, I followed behind His Highness the Crown Prince. His Highness the Crown Prince looked at me. Since she is a mysterious Xuan Men people, then why in the end to enter the palace? And why close to me? I then took the initiative to speak up. Is there something Your Highness would like to ask? If I ask, will you answer? Of course I will. I would have answered, where is the gate of heaven? I hold out my hand. The Xuan Men are in the mountains. It's a very remote place. People can't find it. Even if they do, they can't get in. Why? Because you can get lost. The terrain in the mountains is very complicated. And there are also heavy organs set up by the Xuan Men. Those who have bad intentions, if they are unlucky, they won't even be able to save their lives. How did you find this act? Relying on intuition. A concubine can feel the door in which direction. Follow the intuition on the line. He came close to me again and said, "Can you take me to Xuanan?" "No." I made a gesture. "There are rules in Xuanan. You can't bring outsiders into the mountain gate. Violating the rules will be punished." "I don't want to be punished." "But if your highness needs help, you don't need to go to the Xuanan. Just look for my concubine directly, and I will do my best to help you achieve it. If she flatly agrees to take me to the Xuanmen sect, I would instead suspect that she is using the opportunity to plot against me. Do you still have the amulet?" "Lone wants the amulets." "No problem. My concubine will make them for you when I return." Back here in the Chinga Palace, Bao Qin is rummaging through the cupboards and seems to be looking for something. I'm leisurely eating delicious food. "What are you looking for?" "Bao Qin, you're attending the birthday banquet tomorrow night. Slave girl is looking for clothes for you. The clothes I usually wear are fine." "No, you've been in the palace for half a year. You've never shown your face in public. Tomorrow night is your first appearance. You must dress up. The usual clothes are too ordinary. The target should prepare a set of clothes for you that can amaze everyone. You're going to the Empress birthday banquet. What birthday gift are you going to give?" "Since it's a birthday celebration, let's send birthday peaches. I'll just send them to the Empress Dowager. Why don't you make a big cake and write Happy Birthday Queen Mother in 8 big words on it?" Bao Qin directly rejected my idea. "People send all kinds of rare treasures. You send a basket of peaches, a big cake." I looked at her with an aggrieved face. "Apart from food, I really can't think of anything else." "Forget it. I'm tired. I'm going to bed." I immediately lay down flat. "No way. Little lord, you get up." Bao Qin shook my body vigorously. "Ouch. I'm so sleepy, my fatigued eyes can no longer lift up." "Forget it. You go to the bottom level of the cabinet and bring that parcel that is leaning to the left." She took out this parcel right away. I just pulled something out of it. "Just give it away." A ginseng was taken out by me. This ginseng is of extremely high quality. It's definitely a treasure that can't be bought even with money outside. "Young master, where did you get such a good ginseng?" I pushed the parcel away yawning. "Master gave it to me and I don't know where he got it from. Is it okay to use this as a birthday gift?" The maid is ecstatic inside. "No problem. Necessarily no problem." Then I sleep. I just lay down without giving Bao Qin a chance to speak. Time came to the afternoon of the next day. I Saturday in front of the camera, and Bao Qin helped me to put on my makeup. The eyebrow pencil drew on my eyebrows, finally presenting delicate eyes. Another piece of red paper was taken out. I needed to sip the red paper and stick the red color on my mouth. Bao Qin puts on my headdress behind me. Finally, the costume is ready, showing a noble quality. Behind me, Bao Qin happily said, "This look of the young master now will definitely charm His Royal Highness the Crown Prince." I feel so strange. It's like I've changed my face. His Highness the Crown Prince came here. I just happened to walk out at this time. His Highness the Crown Prince turned his head when he heard footsteps. I put on my costume, and Bao Qin behind me helped me lift the clothes that were dragging on the floor. His Highness the Crown Prince looked at my costume and stared with wide eyes, somewhat in disbelief. When I saw His Highness the Crown Prince was here, I lowered my head slightly. When I raised my head, I saw His Highness looking at me. I asked him curiously, "Isn't it a bit strange for me to be dressed like this?" His Royal Highness the Crown Prince also responded to me, "Not strange." He looked at me and thought to himself, "Not only is it not strange, it's also beautiful." Then he stretched out his hand. I was a little confused. There shouldn't be such clear and penetrating eyes in the middle of the palace. Then he touched the corner of my eye. "Don't look at Lone with such eyes in the future." I was full of doubts. What's wrong with my eyes? But it didn't answer me and just left. "Go away." I looked at His Highness the Crown Prince walking ahead and wondered why. Was I hated by him just now? But why? I didn't do anything. Behind me, Bao Qin shouted in a low voice, "Little master, His Highness has gone far away. Let's quickly follow him." The two of us immediately followed His Highness' lead. Then we arrived at the place where the Empress was holding the birthday banquet. As soon as we came in, the maids and eunuchs knelt down and said, "Greetings, Your Highness." His Highness the Crown Prince also coldly said, "No need to be polite.